This game several times a day, it makes the rare occasions when we do draw blood something that the animal is comfortable with. We draw blood from the tail because that's where the veins are closest to the surface of the skin. There's also fewer nerve endings on the tail, so they don't feel the needle as much when we do draw blood. If you look to the island in the back, you'll see that Paul has asked Cottrell to lie out in front of him. And he's just rubbing Cottrell on the side with that targeting buoy. He is mimicking what an ultrasound machine feels like to the dolphins. Now that's just a targeting buoy. We're not actually doing an ultrasound. But an ultrasound is a great way to see what's going on inside the dolphin's body. It allows us to practice preventative care, which helps us catch a potential illness before it becomes serious. Now, if you look a little bit to the right of Paul, you'll see that Kurt is taking a look at the inside of Piquette's eye. Just dribbling a little bit of water on it and watching to see how she reacts to different light. Now, this is important. We want to make sure that her eye is clear, not cloudy or hazy. That's an important aspect of the animal's health. And it gives us a good overall picture of the animal's health as well. It's just a good general indicator of the overall health of the animal. Now, turning medical positions into games helps us to keep the animals both healthy and happy at the very same time. Now, we're going to be saying goodbye now to the Pacific white-sided dolphins, but before they go, they are going to say goodbye by making a big splash for you folks. So if you watch towards the center of the habitat, here's Cree and Piquette as they make a big splash. Or maybe just Piquette. How about a big round of applause for the Pacific white-sided dolphin? Before we bring out another animal for you to meet into the habitat, we first have to ask the dolphins to leave the center habitat. We're doing that using that very same targeting game that you learned about earlier. We're asking the dolphins to find their shapes, their name tags in another location. Now once that move is complete, you are going to meet some Magellanic penguins. Down in Shedd's polar play zone, there are Magellanic and rockhopper penguins, 2 of the 17 species of penguin in the world. Now, we're going to be asking the penguins to join us right out here on this walkway in front of all of you. So it's very important that you please remain in your seats. Also, double check to make sure the flash on your camera is turned off. And guys, I know these penguins are super cute, but please, even if they get really close to you, please try not to touch them. So we want to make sure that we don't distract them in their training. Setting them up for success is a vital aspect of their training. Now, it looks like the trainers are just about ready, so I'm going to take a step back and let you watch this training in action. As you can see, some penguins are faster than others. That's all right. You see, as the penguins were crossing the finish line there, they got some fish. That is a great way to provide positive reinforcement for the penguins for joining us on this march. Now, before we bring out the last animal for you to meet, we first would like to introduce you to a new addition to the Shedd family.
Back now at 7:48 with a really touching rescue story. An infant sea otter was found stranded in California last month. She was saved and was quickly taken to Chicago's Shedd Aquarium, and that's where NBC's Kevin Tibbles picks things up.
Welcome to a nursery unlike any other, where it's time for this baby to have a bottle.
It's made up for Kevin.
Cayucos is a 10-week-old, 13-pound bouncing baby southern sea otter. The orphan pup was found on the California beach last month.
You know, those first few days when she lost her mom were probably very scary times.
The southern or California sea otter is a threatened species, with fewer than 3,000 animals left in the wild. But luckily for Cayucos, she was rescued and brought to Chicago's Shedd Aquarium, one of the top marine mammal facilities in the world. And she seems to be adjusting just fine.
She is a baby. They like to play, they like to explore, they like to get into mischief.
But baby otters, like baby humans, also need round-the-clock care. So the Shedd has a dozen surrogate moms to feed her and to begin to teach her how to be an otter. The Shedd first started caring for otters in 1989 in the wake of the Exxon Valdez disaster. That's when Kenai was rescued. She's now the matriarch.
She's 23 now, and she's kind of a nice retired life right now.
But before Cayucos can hang with the grown-ups, she's got a lot to learn.
Want some more? Turn over. Good.
Like eating solid food while floating on her back.
I heard that.
But watch out, those teeth are sharp.
Okay.
She also has to learn how to groom, and otter's thick coat has to be maintained for their very survival. And like most kids, when she doesn't get her way, she lets you know. Cayucos is the 9th pup raised here, and while she'll never be returned to the wild, she will teach scientists more about her species. And soon be delighting visitors, because like most babies, she's irresistibly cute. Kevin Tibbles, ABC News, Chicago.